this is Dr. Webb here. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to give you guys some perspective from other students, other residents, kind of some advice that they have for you, or some things that they wish they would have known as a pre-med. So I selected a group of people and I interviewed them, asked them questions, and they had a couple great answers for you. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi everybody, my name is Jalkennen Joseph. I'm currently a fourth-year medical student from University of Hawaii, Johnny Burns School of Medicine. I'm currently here in San Antonio doing my AM sub-internship. Some advice that I can give you guys that I wish I had known when I was going through undergraduate. I wish that I take my science courses a lot more seriously and dedicate some time to study more, because in the end, when you're applying for medical school, those things will come up. Other thing that I would also advise is things like the MCAT. I would advise that the best way to prepare for the MCAT is to free up your schedule completely and dedicate like majority part of your day studying for the MCAT, because MCAT is like a good screening tool that most medical schools use. So I wish that I would take more time and study so that I can got into medical school my first time. Needless to say, I got into medical school, but if I have to do it all over again, I would probably dedicate some time and doing those things. But I think otherwise, I think what drives everybody into medical school is your passion and your motivation and looking at what you want to do in the end. So for me, I had to like move to Hawaii. I was living in San Antonio, but I have to move to Hawaii to go to medical school. Had to live there for a year without my family, but in the end, my passion and drive kind of like pushed me through, because I know that medical school, becoming a doctor is something that I want to do, and I think in the end it paid off. But just be persistent and, like I said, take those things seriously, because it will help you out in the long run, not only in medical school but other things as well. Thank you.
Hello, pre-medical students. I'm a fourth-year medical student. My name is Ammar Saigal. I have the privilege of working with Dr. Webb on the orthopedic trauma service here at UT Health San Antonio right now. I just had some advice for you pre-med students. So what I want to say is, don't necessarily get yourself inundated in the biological sciences if you have other interests. College and the undergraduate study time is a period where you should learn to develop yourself and try to become who you really want to be. And I think that'll actually help you thrive as a doctor. So in other words, there's no need to take classes like microbiology, immunology, and genetics if you don't need to, or if you're not necessarily interested in those things. Now, I like those things. That's why I did that stuff in college. But my advice to you would be, learn how to play an instrument, or take a cooking class, or learn how to speak another language. Do something that's going to help you in your personal development. And I think you will find that later on down the road, that will help you in your career as a physician as well.
What advice would you give to someone who's applied to med school multiple times but can't get in?
Persistence is definitely the key. If once you decide that you want something, I think the only time that failure really exists is in the absence of learning from your mistakes in the past and using the associated gain and knowledge to reinvent yourself. There are countless examples of this. Michael Jordan, Stephen King, Hideo Kojima, one of my favorite game developers. And the point really is that once you've decided that you wanted to go into med school, nothing should be able to stop you at that point. Now, if you've tried multiple times and you still can't get in, what you should do is analyze your failures, get to the specifics of them, and then rectify those errors, and then move forward. The admissions committees for all of the medical schools will really appreciate how you've attempted to improve yourself. They will take note of that, and that will certainly work to your advantage in the future.
Hey there, my name is Issac Kim. I'm a second-year orthopedic surgery resident. I think one thing I wish I would have known before pre-med is that you can major in anything. Just study what interests you. But if you think you're going to med school, take the prerequisites on the side. But really just sort of pursue your passion and what interests you, and you're going to naturally do well in your major, and then you'll get your prerequisites done, and you'll be in good shape to take the MCAT and apply to med school.
All right, what advice would you give to someone who has applied to medical school and been rejected multiple times?
Yeah, so then you could probably want to broaden your scope. So the MD isn't the only, isn't the end all. And there's DO schools that you can apply to that tend to accept more students, and then there's also nurse practitioner school, PA school. They're very good gigs, good lifestyle, and you get good patient contact and experience. And so I would also look into that as well. But if you're still stuck on passionate about applying to medical school and being an MD, and I wouldn't give up on that dream.
And I understand that you were a PA before. Can you tell us about that transition from PA to MD?
I'd like to say before being a PA, it's a great gig. You get a lot of patient contact. You practice medicine under the supervision of a doctor. Good hours, and I was getting paid very well. But during the course of it, I was a pediatric ortho PA. It was sort of a defining experience for me, and it became I wanted more, especially with respect to surgeries, and so it became something, an itch I had to scratch. I had to really try, and so it was just sort of more organic. I wasn't planning on applying to medical school. It just that desire just sort of grew. So.
And any other advice for pre-med students out there that you may have for?
No, not really. Just pursue what you enjoy. Really, just sort of, as far as your undergraduate major, study what you enjoy, what you're good at, and take your prerequisites. Maybe on your summer jobs. A lot of students tend to volunteer, but I would actually contact a doctor, let's say an orthopedic surgeon attending in the community, and say, can I follow you around for a day in your clinic or go to your OR and really see what your job is like? Because a lot of the volunteer positions in the hospitals are just sort of, you don't get a very good picture of what being a doctor is like. And so I would maybe try to reach out to either personal contacts or a doctor in the community. And more often than not, I'm sure they would be happy to have you come and observe.
Hi, my name is Jordan Handcox. I'm a first-year intern at UT San Antonio Health in the orthopedic surgery department. I went to undergrad at Stanford University and medical school at University of California in San Francisco. And if I had some advice to give pre-meds, there's a couple of things. First, for the MCAT, you need to study early, study often, and you need to get a test prep. Unfortunately, that's kind of the standard nowadays. They're expensive, but spending the money for a formal study program is really important. Second of all, it's really important that you apply broadly. Don't try to be, staying in one location only. Try to be open to moving anywhere in the country and apply to a lot of programs. Third, I would also advise anybody considering a career in medicine that this is a very long road, and it's an amazing road. But you need to try to volunteer in a couple different places before you apply to really make sure that you understand, a little bit about the realities of medicine, practicing medicine, and really understand the time commitment that you're about to put in. And if after all of that you're still interested, then that means it's the right career path for you. Finally, I would try to seek out early good mentors, and it's hard to know what a good mentor is, but it's somebody that's available to you, who's kind of walked the path you're trying to walk, and who's open and honest about the realities of the decisions that you're making. Get a lot of people, as many as you can, to look at your application. It's no matter how good we think our writing is or our application is, it always helps to have an extra set of eyes for editing and to make sure you're trying to get your points across correctly. Again, there are lots of people out there that want to see you succeed, so don't ever be afraid to reach out, okay?
And as a female orthopedic surgery resident, what would you say for females who are interested in surgery but they're concerned about the lifestyle, having a family? Did that factor into your decision when going into surgery at all?
It did, and it's a concern that all of us have, whether you have kids or are expecting kids, whether you're in a relationship or not. It is a huge time commitment, and it's something that I think that you need to be really aware of what program you're applying to, because every program is a little bit different in terms of how they will try to accommodate family time, life outside of the operating room. And I think it's doable, but you just have to be very aware of where you're applying and how you're making your decisions about the programs. It's also important that you find residents or medical students that are similar to you, whether you're a woman, whether you have children. Find somebody already at the school and talk to them about their experience, because you're really not going to get any better information than people who have actually walked through it. And something about my program, I talked with many of the women residents in the years above me, just to make sure that this is a program that's supportive of women and supportive of family outside of medicine. And I know I made the right choice for me, so just make sure you make the right choice for you.
Hey, Andy Haus, second year resident in orthopedics at UT San Antonio. Advice I'd have for a pre-med student is, I think one thing to know, and my eyes were open as I got into med school, is you definitely do not have to go through kind of the step-by-step that you'll probably be told if you need to take this class and you have to be biology major or biochem major. And I mean, obviously you have to do the prereqs, but I would say do something you're passionate about, do something you like, and really get after that kind of stuff. And that's what I saw at med school, and my mind was blown by the variety of folks that were there, and I think it adds a lot. And when you're going around interviewing too, they don't want someone that's just cookie cutter and going through the steps. So yeah, I think that's the one thing I wish I would have done more of, I guess.
I understand, Dr. House, that you are in the Air Force.
I am, yeah.
And so, tell us kind of why you chose to do the Air Force, pay for your med school, and do you think that was a good idea?
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually was already kind of owned. I joined the Air Force, wanted to do other things, and then decided to go with the medical route. And so, but yes, I have paid for all my school, and I think I'm very happy about it, and I'm excited to do that. But I would say, anytime you're doing something with the military, you got to realize that you are signing that line, and there's you're signing your life over to them. So I think it's a really cool opportunity that I'm excited for. But there's a lot of, I would say you got to talk to someone who's actually doing it and realize what you're getting yourself into. Doing surgery overseas might sound really cool, but talk to people that are doing it, and you might not be doing anything if there's not a lot of action. So you might be bored out of your mind, and they'll send you places, plus or minus your opinion doesn't really matter all the time. So you got to really know what you're signing up for, I think. But it is a pretty neat opportunity. So anyway, yeah.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the comments and the advice and recommendations that they gave to you guys. Hope you enjoy this video. Please share it with your friends who are pre-med or your pre-med advisors, so that more people can this can help more people. If you have any more questions, contact me at overcomingtheoddsbook@gmail.com or my website, AntonioWebbMD.com. See you next time.